In Going Under, there are 5 mentors for you to complete tasks for. Completing each task unlocks special abilities or perks that equipping that mentor will give you. Each mentor has 8 different tasks for you to complete. Some of these tasks are pretty straightforward and some can be pretty tricky. I'll go over how to complete each task for Ray in this video so you can unlock all his abilities and the trophy along with it. Alright, let's get into it. Ray's first task is to complete a job with 5 stars. Jobs can be found in the Joblin dungeon and require you to beat enemies as fast as possible. This should be pretty easy, just run through the Joblin dungeon. When you get to the job, just be aggressive and attack the enemies really quickly. You'll see an on-screen indicator showing all 5 stars. Once the 5th star starts to flash, you'll know that you're almost out of time and it's going to go down to a 4 star. Quickly beat the enemies and you've got this one done. Ray's first ability is one of the most fun in the game. His ability lets you buy things that you don't have enough money for, but instead take on the debt. This debt becomes a ball and chain that slows you down as you're trying to move through the dungeon, and as you collect money, it gets smaller and smaller until you get back to 0. But you can keep going into shops, you can keep buying more and make this debt grow and grow and grow, or keep it huge so that even in the boss fight you'll be fighting barely able to move. Ray's next task is to defeat 10 monsters with only your bare hands. This task can be hard because your punches don't do very much damage. There is a skill that you can get that makes this a lot easier. It looks like punching gloves. Once you get that, your punches do a lot more damage and you can easily take out the enemies. Once you've got the skill, make sure you don't have any weapons equipped and just take out 10 enemies with your punches and you've got this done. Ray's next task is to break up the Joblin Union. This one is pretty easy and pretty straightforward. All you need to do is go into the Joblin dungeon, keep going through the levels until you find a door with a check mark on it. Go inside and complete the job, which is just defeating enemies, and you've got this task completed. Ray's second skill lets you visit his meditation room to gain an extra skill. The next task is to complete a floor without dodge rolling. This one can be a little tricky because dodge rolling becomes second nature and something that you're going to be doing all the time to avoid damage. Pick whichever dungeon you're most comfortable with, just go through it, take it slow in each room and just make sure that you're not dodging. As long as you can complete an entire floor without dodge rolling, then you'll get this one completed. Keep in mind, rolling even outside of combat will make you lose this one, so make sure you do not roll at all. Ray's next task is to acquire 10 skills in one run. This one can be done pretty easily. Pick any of the dungeons and just make sure that every time you have an opportunity to take a skill that you take it. This means taking any curses so that you can get the skill that's usually hidden behind it, buying them in the shop, and opening every type of crate because this gives you a chance at getting another skill. Once you collect 10 of them all in one dungeon, you've got this. Ray's third skill lets you re-roll items in the cafe using a special kiosk. This does cost money, but can come in clutch if you don't have the items that you need, so you can re-roll them and hopefully get something better. This is kind of like gambling though, a lot of times you may re-roll them and get things that are worse, so use it at your own will. Ray's next one is to defeat the King Slime in Winkydink dungeon. This one again is another really straightforward one. Go to the Winkydink dungeon, keep going down the levels until you find another door with a check mark on it. Go in and you'll find the King Slime in there with a bunch of other enemies. Defeat them all and you've got this task completed. Ray's second last task is to finish an end floor combat without taking damage. This one can be pretty tricky, and you have to be very careful not to mess up. But thankfully it's only the last room of each floor that you have to complete this on. So if you mess up on the first floor, you can always try again on the second floor or on the third floor. Basically just take that room very slowly, make sure that you're dodging and staying as far away from enemies as possible and not getting hit. Once you get this one done, you'll be on to the last task. Ray's final task is simple but can be difficult. All you have to do is reach B4, which is the boss floor, with no skills. This means you can't go into the dungeon with any skills, so make sure that before you enter, you unequip any skills at the mentor board. Then all you need to do is make your way through all 3 floors without picking up any skills. This means don't buy any, don't pick up from any of the crates, don't use the cursed skills, anything like that. As long as you can make it to the boss floor without any skills, the task will be completed, and then there's a store there that you can buy some stuff if you want before fighting the boss. And that's it! Now you've completed all of Ray's tasks. Ray's final skill lets you start each dungeon driving his car. This car seems to be a lot more powerful and a lot more durable than the rest of the cars in the game, so you can take this from room to room and have a lot of fun with it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel for even more going under tips and tricks. That's it for now. As always, happy gaming.